Shalom, Hebrews. I'll probably call this one Key to the House of David or the Lost Word of Masonry. What's really going on? But let us break bread as the ancient priest kings once did. Now, you have this idea that bread is the four basic, you could say alchemical elements of water, earth, air, and fire. Now, the earth would be the wheat, and then the air would be the fermentation with the yeast, and then obviously the fire is the oven. Mix in water, you got yourself bread. Now, of course, man does not live on what? Bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. So now we have this idea of this lost word, okay? Now, Freemasonry is all about the lost word, right? And we can see it here. Where did I put it? Okay, at the third degree, where the Mason is raised by the strong grip of the lion's paw, they whisper in the word Maja-Bone, which translates to bone. That's why you have the bonesmen of, I guess Yale, right? 322. But it's really builder, okay? Now it's not really a word, it's a concept, right? If you look this up, you'll find all sorts of what is it and all of that. Now, it is, okay, this is the word in Hebrew, bana, or bone, is kind of a weird way of pronunciation, but that's really what it is, okay? So, now we have the great builder, Maja-Bone, the Buddhist, I guess has a kind of a Buddhist root there, is the Cyclopses, okay? Makes sense, right? The builders at Stonehenge. These were the great builder. That's the last work. Now, this also could be Tubal-Cain, bone. I'll let you make that connection with Tubal-Cain. It's the male, obviously the male reproductive organ again. So that is the obelisk. Okay, guys? So they're building with the lost word. We've covered this plenty on my other videos. It's the obelisk is what? A second resurrection device, or symbol, we could say, right? Again, which is why after they raise with the strong grip of the lion's paw, they have the lost word. Okay, so in the Bible, you do have the lost word. Okay, that is literally the Word of God. Okay, he is clothed with vesture dipped in blood. His name's called the Word of God. Okay, that's in Revelation there. Okay, 19. So, the Word has been lost. Now, you need to be refined this Word, and that's where the idea of the quest comes from. The great quest to find the lost Word. So, I will then, let's go to the strong grip of the lion's paw is, he wept, John, wept not. The Lion of the tribe of Judah has prevailed to open the book and loosen the seven seals. So you need a key. Okay, that's the key. Now, in Isaiah 22:22, there's this idea of Shebna and the key to the house of David. Okay, where else is this? Okay, Philadelphia, fraternal, age of the fraternities. That's the Masonic brotherhood, right? We've talked about this plenty. You can see some of my pictures under the, if you go on my channel, you can see the pictures of that. Okay, the key to the house of David. So we're talking about a seal now being opened. This lost word, this lost concept, that's the idea of a riddle. You need to start out. A riddle doesn't mean anything unless you start seeking it first, okay? That's, again, where we're talking about how do you feed the light body with cracking riddles, right? So anyway, so you got this Lion of the tribe of Judah that has prevailed to open the book, and the lost word is, again, the Son of Man, Yeshua, okay? That's his name. So, what was Shebna? Now, if you look in many footnotes, it says it'll link this verse to Isaiah 22:22. What was Shebna doing here? Okay, the covering of Judah was discovered. Interesting. Where is it? Somewhere up. Okay, he discovered the covering of Judah. Okay, what was he doing? A sepulcher, a tomb, a grave, the belly of the whale, the womb, tomb, it's all the same, right? So he was hewing out himself, Shebna was, I believe, let's see. I just want to make sure it is Shebna. I'm like 90% sure. But he's carving himself out a tomb here. In the key of the house of David. What happened in this? He shall open, none shall shut. Okay, that's clearly what we just read in Revelation. It's here in Isaiah, right? Well, this livery collar of Shebna, what happened? It went to somebody else. Why? Because in the robe of his ministry here, it looks like, his stately government robe went to somebody else because he was carving himself out a tomb. Interesting. A sepulcher. What do they do here in Masonry? Let's go. Chamber of reflection. Now, we talked about breaking bread and the alchemical elements. Earth, air, fire, water. So, in the Chamber of Masonry, they go and there's this idea of this vitriol is going into the ground, right? They before the candidate for initiation, they put him in this tomb. Okay? Look at this. Visit the interior of the earth. That's what I just read to you. Vitriol. In purified, you'll find the hidden stone. So the philosopher's stone. So they're going into the belly of the whale, like Shebna was here. You go into the belly of the whale in Masonry, the tomb, the reflecting chamber, before you're raised by the strong grip of the lion's paw, and then given the great word, or the builder, the lost word, which was builder, or bone, okay, Maja-Bone, right? So, interesting. And then from all the ancient myths, here we go. The word, it's the male generating principle, right? Again, that's the phallus. But when Nimrod died, his wife Semiramis went looking for the lost phallus, and it was said that oftentimes it was in the belly of the whale, or a fish swallowed it, and that's where she found it. And then they produced the child, which was the widow's son. Starting to make sense. So Semiramis, the original whore, if you will, of Babylon, and then this divine child in Freemasonry is the widow's son. Why in Revelation does the whore of Babylon say, I sit as queen and am no widow? Oh, I hope you're starting to connect the dots here. So the widow's son is the divine Euclid's 47th problem, right? Where you had the two, Jacket and Boaz, the horizontal and the vertical, creates the triangle, is the last word of the obelisk, or the widow's son, okay? So now you're starting to understand that this widow's son is the widow. Who's the widow in this? It's the whore of Babylon produces the widow's son. So this builder creates the obelisk. And that's the second resurrection device. What tears down the obelisk? It's the word of God, the true word of God. Because this is why Yeshua rules with a rod of iron and is the word of God. Because the word was lost. Okay, guys? Is named the Word of God. So, the woman really goes to the wilderness and looks for the lost word. That's the 1260, 42, 3.5 in Revelation. Goes to the belly of the whale looking, and it's really a 3.5 year process, guys. It's not something you do in a weekend in a lodge, which is what they do. But the woman is supposed to go look for the lost word. You notice how it's backwards, guys. The Masonic allegory, it's the widow's son that goes and looks. Well, I guess is the product of the lost word is the widow's son, the obelisk. You see how it's a little slightly different, but similar at the same way. Because yes, you do have the bride and the whore in Revelation, so they're going to be very similar. They are quite literally similar, or the same allegory, right? So, In all of these pagan religions, they all look for this lost word, and they build obelisks as memorials. So now, I also wanted to take a little segue. Hopefully you can wrap your mind around that, okay, that process. You have the 7 plagues of Revelation. Notice what's going on here where they're pouring the 7 plagues. Let me pull that up real quick, and you can hear. Okay, notice what's going on. They're pouring out the plagues on the 4 basic elements. Okay, this is something else to think about. Earth, water, fire, that's the sun. And then it's going to be water. Where the woman sits, she sits on the sea, the holy sea, right? That's the seat of the beast. Because the next chapter you'll see, the woman sits on the waters. So they did earth, water, fire, water, Euphrates, water, and air. You will see that the last one is the air. Okay, that's the 4 basic elements, right? And the 5th would be the mystical 5th element would be the what do they call it? Satan was the ruler of the air, right? Can't think of the word right now. Anyway, the 5th element. So I can hopefully start to see. So now we start to understand this encampment here with the lion with the key in its mouth, okay? Lion of the tribe of Judah. That's what they're talking about with this whole thing, okay, guys? And think about that riddle in Lord of the Rings. How many teeth do people have? 32 teeth, right? Okay, 30 white horses should be 32 in Lord of the Ring. They chomp and they stomp. What was the answer? The teeth, right? That's a little side note. But hopefully you can connect the dots here of the great builder, the lost word, and the widow's son. Thanks for watching.